The beautiful San Juan Islands in Washington State and Vancouver.
Have you ever wondered how the tranquil and picturesque San Juan Islands came to be? Today, we will delve into the rich history of these islands. Nestled in the Salish Sea between mainland Washington and Vancouver Island, Canada, the San Juan Islands are a gem of the Pacific Northwest. They are an archipelago comprising of over 450 islands, rocks, and pinnacles, each with its unique charm and beauty. Today, they are a haven for wildlife and a popular destination for tourists seeking a tranquil escape. But how did this archipelago come to be? What is the story behind these serene islands that attract thousands of visitors each year? These are the questions we will explore in this video as we unravel the captivating history of the San Juan Islands. The story of the San Juan Islands is a tale that spans thousands of years, beginning with the retreat of the glaciers at the end of the last ice age. Over time, the islands have witnessed the rise and fall of native civilizations, the arrival of European explorers, and the influence of modern America. Each of these eras has left its mark on the islands, shaping their physical landscape and cultural heritage. The islands are known not just for their stunning natural beauty, but also for their rich biodiversity. They are home to a wide variety of flora and fauna, including orcas, bald eagles, and a myriad of marine life. The island's diverse ecosystems make them a haven for nature lovers and researchers alike. As we journey through the history of the San Juan Islands, we will discover how geology, climate, and human activity have shaped these islands into the paradise they are today. We will delve into the stories of the people who have called these islands home, from ancient native tribes to present-day inhabitants. So, are you ready to uncover the mysteries of these beautiful islands? Are you prepared to venture into the past, to a time when mammoths roamed, glaciers retreated, and civilizations rose and fell? Embark on a journey back in time to discover the intriguing history of the San Juan Islands. The story of the San Juan Islands begins with the indigenous peoples who first called these islands home. Let's take a leap back in time to a period long before the arrival of European explorers. The first inhabitants of the San Juan Islands were the Coast Salish people, a collective term for a diverse group of indigenous tribes who shared similar languages and cultural traits. The Coast Salish people lived in harmony with the land. Their lives were intricately tied to the rhythm of the seasons and the bounty of the land and sea. The islands provided a rich array of resources, from the salmon-filled waters to the lush forests brimming with cedar trees. These resources were not merely means of survival for the Coast Salish people. They formed the very essence of their culture and identity. The Coast Salish people were skillful fishermen, hunters, and gatherers. They navigated the waters in intricately carved cedar canoes, fishing for salmon and hunting seals. On land, they gathered berries and roots and hunted deer. They developed sophisticated techniques for preserving food, ensuring they had ample provisions during the harsh winter months. The cedar tree was central to the Coast Salish way of life. They used its wood to build their homes and canoes, its bark to make clothing and baskets, and its roots for intricate weaving. Their art and craftsmanship were a reflection of their deep respect for nature and their spiritual connection to the land. The Coast Salish people also had a rich tradition of storytelling. Through oral histories passed down through generations, they preserved their cultural heritage, their wisdom, and their understanding of the world. These stories often featured the animals and natural elements of the islands, highlighting the intricate bond between the people and their environment. The legacy of the Coast Salish people is deeply woven into the fabric of the San Juan Islands. Their influence is seen in the names of places, in the archaeological sites that dot the islands, and in the rich cultural heritage that continues to thrive. The Coast Salish people, the original caretakers of this land, set the stage for the fascinating history that would unfold. The quiet life of the islands was disrupted in the late 18th century when European explorers set foot on the islands. This was no small moment in history. The San Juan Islands, a serene paradise tucked away in the Pacific Northwest, were about to experience a wave of change. Leading the charge were Spanish and British explorers, drawn by tales of verdant landscapes and rich resources. The Spanish were the first to arrive, with explorers like Francisco de Eliza making their mark. They charted the islands, naming them after their patron saint San Juan. The British weren't far behind, with Captain George Vancouver following suit, mapping the islands extensively and naming many of the features we still recognize today. But this was not a peaceful cohabitation with the indigenous people already living there. There were clashes, misunderstandings, and cultural exchanges that left lasting impacts on both sides. The European explorers brought with them diseases, technology, and a profound sense of entitlement to the lands they discovered. Their arrival led to an influx of settlers who were drawn by the promise of fertile farmland and the lure of the fur trade. They established settlements, bringing with them their customs, traditions, and way of life. The landscape of the islands began to change, reflecting the influence of these new inhabitants. There were attempts at cooperation and trade with the indigenous people, but the balance of power had shifted. The Europeans had superior weapons and technology, and they used these to their advantage. The indigenous people found themselves pushed to the fringes of their own lands, their way of life irrevocably altered. This period of exploration and settlement, while fraught with conflict and tension, was a pivotal point in the history of the San Juan Islands. It set the stage for the islands as we know them today, a blend of cultures, histories, and traditions. The arrival of the Europeans marked a significant turning point in the history of the San Juan Islands. The echoes of this era still resonate today, shaping the island's culture, landscape, and identity. In 1859, an unusual conflict broke out on the islands, known as the Pig War. Yes, you heard it right, a war over a pig. It was a time when the sovereignty of the San Juan Islands was a bone of contention between the British Empire and the United States. Both nations claimed the islands as their own, and the tension simmered, awaiting a trigger. That trigger came in the form of a pig, an errant swine to be more precise, owned by the British Hudson's Bay Company, had a penchant for rooting in the garden of an American settler named Lyman Cutler. One fateful day, Cutler had had enough of the pig's antics and shot it dead. This seemingly minor incident ignited a dispute that would escalate into an international incident. The British wanted Cutler arrested, but the Americans rallied to his defense. Both sides called in reinforcements. Before long, the tranquil islands were teeming with British warships and American soldiers. The situation was precarious, to say the least. A full-scale war seemed imminent, all because of a pig. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Despite the mounting tension and the presence of military forces, not a single shot was fired in anger. The only casualty of this war was the pig itself. Instead, the two nations decided to settle the dispute peacefully. They agreed to a joint military occupation of the islands until a resolution could be reached. It took more than a decade, but eventually, in 1872, a decision was made. The German Kaiser Wilhelm I, acting as an arbitrator, ruled in favor of the United States. The British peacefully withdrew, and the San Juan Islands officially became American territory. The Pig War, an odd yet significant event, sealed the fate of the San Juan Islands as an American territory. It's a quirky chapter in history, reminding us that even the most unlikely incidents can have far-reaching consequences. From the tumultuous times of the 19th century, the San Juan Islands evolved into the peaceful and idyllic destination we know today. As the dust settled from the Pig War, the islands continued to flourish, experiencing significant transformations throughout the 20th and 21st centuries. The dawn of the 20th century saw the island's growth not just as a settlement, but as a booming hub of industry. Logging and fishing became the mainstay of the local economy, with the island's natural resources providing abundant opportunities for growth. With time, the island's idyllic beauty began attracting more than just settlers and industrious folk. By the mid-20th century, the San Juan Islands had become a popular destination for tourists, vacationers, and nature lovers. The allure of the island's serene landscapes, rich marine life, and the charm of their small communities began to draw crowds from all corners of the country. Recognizing the island's natural beauty and the importance of preserving it, the federal government established the San Juan Islands National Monument in the early 21st century. This protected over 1,000 acres of land, ensuring that the island's unique ecosystems from its lush forests to its rocky shorelines, would remain unspoiled for generations to come. Today, the San Juan Islands serve as a testament to the harmonious coexistence of progress and preservation. They are a bustling tourist destination, offering a multitude of recreational activities such as kayaking, hiking, and whale watching. Yet they also remain a sanctuary for nature, with their pristine beaches, verdant forests, and abundant wildlife. The island's rich history is also not forgotten. From the Native American tribes that first inhabited these lands to the European settlers who fought for them, their stories are etched into the island's very fabric. Museums, historical sites, and cultural festivals keep these tales alive, offering a glimpse into the island's vibrant past. Steeped in history and natural beauty, the San Juan Islands continue to enchant locals and visitors alike. Let's pause and take a moment to reflect on the rich history of the San Juan Islands. We journeyed from the time of the island's first inhabitants through the era of European exploration and settlement. We revisited the peculiar yet significant Pig War, which left an indelible mark on the island's history. Finally, we explored the islands as they are today, a blend of past and present. As we've seen, the San Juan Islands are more than just a beautiful destination. They're a testament to a vibrant and varied history.